You look tired, Harper.
I missed you too. They're already here?
Down below. Here's the key.
We had eyes on suspected cultists in the city, like you asked. We thought we were tracking them, but...
They were tracking you instead, evidently. Doppelgangers.
I have heard much of the cunning and caution of the Harpers. Clearly those tales were exaggerated. Their entire network in the city has been infiltrated and undone by a handful of imposters.
Mazora, you're Zariel's asset.
My dumb little stinker. Took you long enough. Now, by Grazit's cock, get me out of this thing!
I'll do it, and you'll set me free. That was the deal.
Yeah. So, get to it already.
You're free, Mazora. I held up my end, now you hold up yours. Sever the pact.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you.
It's you! I remember finding you close to death, beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull.
Oh, did I mangle your skull too terribly?
Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Heaven preserve us.
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Shit, no. Father!
Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought.
He won't get away with it.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cinderellimouse and we're playing Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you so much for joining me and spending your valuable time with me. I appreciate your faces so much. So it's a big day today because we are going to go and confront Lord Gortash at his Archduke coronation. What is he like? Yeah, I think Archduke, I think. Is that right? If I come out of photo mode and jump into Dirge's inventory, we do actually have an Archducal coronation admission pass. It says this pass, signed by Gortash himself and scented like vanilla and rosewood, will get you into the coronation ceremony. We also have a lower city pass, which we got, I think, off the guy who was putting like explosives in the teddy bears. So we shouldn't have any trouble getting past the guards at all, basically. And yeah, I also want to see if we can check out kind of if we can figure out who Raphael has been dealing with. Apparently Raphael's got to deal with like a priest, something to do with Lord Porter's daughter who's a flaming fist. So we'll go and see if we can see any sign of that as well. The people who Dirge is going to take, because of course Dirge is going to confront Gortash because he used to be a member of the Absolute himself. He was the chosen of Baal, like we know all this. So we're going to go and see what Gortash has to say and see if we can find out any more about Dirge's past. It makes sense for him to go rather than Cordia. We're also going to take Karlach because obviously Karlach and Gortash used to be kind of buddies. She was acting like a bodyguard for him when he was kind of like an up-and-coming politician in Baldur's Gate, and he kind of sold her out and you know, basically gave her to Zariel. So there's definitely a grudge there that Karlach has for Gortash. Will is going to go as well because his father might be there. His father is Duke Ravengard, and we saw Gortash and Orin and Ketheric kind of tadpole his dad. So it seems like they've tadpoled him in order to kind of get his support for making Gortash an Archduke. So Will needs to go. I'm also going to take along Minthara again because she was involved with the Absolute as well. She was kind of following Ketheric's orders. I've dressed her in Ketheric's armor just as kind of an intimidation thing, a bit like Minthara showing up and being like, oh yeah, we took that other guy out. want to mess with us in that armor. You know, we destroyed a chosen of, who is it, Merkel? So, you know, Gortash don't mess with us, basically. I've also dressed everybody in quite fancy clothing. So Dirge has this outfit here. We went shopping in the last video. This is what he chose. Karlak as well is kind of dressed up a little bit and looking a bit fancier. We are going basically to like a big ballroom. So with all the kind of patriarchs and nobility of Baldur's Gate. So we want to at least look the part to kind of get in there, right? We don't want to be challenged too much on the way in. So if we show up all in our armor, there's going to be more kind of guards confronting us. That's not a real thing. I don't think anyone cares actually in the game what we wear, but in my mind, that's the storytelling I'm doing. Will is looking super fancy. I really, really like this outfit on him with this kind of like, almost like mayoral chains that he has. And yeah, Minthara's wearing Ketherick's armor because she's a baddie. I've changed the colour of it as well. It was kind of purpley. I've used black and azure dye on her now, and I think I prefer that colouring on her. So I'm going to stick with that going forward. Anything else that I wanted to say before we get going? Let's have a look at what we've got going on here. So confront the Elder Brain. We finally arrived in Baldur's Gate. To face the Elder Brain, we must obtain the Netherstones from the 3 chosen. We already have Ketherick, so maybe we can get Gortash's today. Get Gortash's Netherstone. Find Gortash in Worm's Rock Fortress, where he's going to be sworn in as Archduke of Baldur's Gate. We need to make our way there. What else do we have as well? So there's a few here that are gonna kind of apply to what we're doing. Rescue the Grand Duke, pursue Ravengard's captors to Baldur's Gate. Yeah, so we might find him there. And I think, what else do we have as well? Our fiery friend. We learned that this is Karlak. We learned that Gortash is currently being ordained as Archduke of Baldur's Gate. This could be Karlak's chance to confront him. Blade of Frontiers. We've made it to Worm's Crossing on the outskirts of Baldur's Gate. So not only are we looking for Will's dad, also we're looking for Mizora, who is Will's patron. And I think it's weird that there's no companion quests for Minthara. I feel a little bit cheated out of that, really, because, you know, the High Harper has one, so Jaheira has one. Also, I'm playing the original Baldur's Gate. I think I've mentioned this on my channel a couple of times. I'm debating whether or not I kind of do videos on it for my channel. I don't know if anyone's interested in that or not. My teeth look yellow. I'm gonna say it's my lighting. I'm just a bit paranoid about it. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in seeing a playthrough of the original Baldur's Gate game. Maybe I'll do it on Twitch if I get time. I don't know, no promises. But I'm really enjoying it. And I've got Jaheira in my team in the original Baldur's Gate as well. And I've got her husband Khalid, and I had Minsk, but Minsk fell out with me and started a fight with me, and bad things happened. So yeah, it's really, really fun to see those original characters and, you know, the backstories and things like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the High Harper, if I can keep my mind on one thing. Jaheira has a companion quest, but Halsin and Minthara don't. And I think that's a little bit sad. I would have liked more direction for them, especially in Act 3. Because Minthara, sorry, yeah, I read Mizora, but I was thinking Minthara, so then I got tongue twisted. Minthara, you know, there's so much depth to her character and she's so involved in the story. So it feels really weird that, you know, we don't have any kind of like revenge arc for her, being a Oath of Vengeance paladin. Anyway, I'm not complaining too much. It's as near perfect as a game can get, in my opinion, so... There's so much that going on with this game. I feel bad when I complain about it because there's so much effort that's been put in kind of consistently in all areas of the game. So if I nitpick, I just feel like such a see you next Tuesday. I'm warm. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm not making sense. My introductions are terrible. Right, okay. Enough talking, more doing. Let's head to... Oh no, actually, I do want to do some more talking. Because there is a little bit that people want to say. So, Minthara...
for the two of us.
You wish to consult me?
Have we asked this? I don't know if we've asked this yet or not, so I'm curious about your thoughts regarding Raphael's deal.
I do not want a devil to hold my fate in his hands any more than a god. Aren't you tired of bowing and begging for scraps of power from your patron. I say we put the devil from our minds and trust in ourselves. If anyone should have the power of the crown, it should be us.
She looks so badass in Kethric's armor. Kethric's armor is so cool. I was thinking if I was going to cosplay as anyone, if I was going to go to an event, not that I have the skills to create a cool outfit or anything like that, but I would love to be Minthara, but in Kethric's armor. I think she's so cool. Okay, so yeah, we're watching out for Mizora, speaking of devils.
Never wanted the easy path.
Who else should I talk to? I have my notes actually about who has things to say. So Will and Karlach. The ones that we're taking with us pretty much.
Always good to talk, my friend.
What do you know about Gortash and Orin?
Orin? I'd never heard tell of. But Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like.
Okay, so his dad sounds like he had the measure of Gortash beforehand. It sounds like Will's dad was not a fan of Gortash. So the fact that they tadpoled him, right, involuntarily, it's kind of like take out the opposition, you know, so, I don't want to do this Mizora thing. It's quite a long-winded conversation. We have done it with Cordia, so I'm going to leave that. And then Karlach, bestie. How are you doing, big sis? Looking pretty fine and dandy, if I do say so myself.
Hey, you.
It's been a while since we connected like we once did. I feel like this is because going in there to confront Gortash, he's getting the measure of her. He's like, he knows she's pretty angry with him, but how vulnerable is she to, you know, his sweet words, his promises, false promises? Is she in danger of switching sides on us? So he's assessing her.
Yeah, I had the same thought. So much has happened between then and now. Maybe we just got a little caught up in it all. But I'm not going anywhere. I've got plans for the future, you know, and they involve you.
Good to know. Okay. Let's head to Worm's Rock. It's time. I think we are going to get a bit of chatter as well with Minthara in the group, so I'm going to try and get that now.
Have you ever been afraid, Karlach? Truly afraid?
You know how much time I spent in the Hells, right? Of course I've been scared. I kept on going, though. Knew there'd be better days on the other side. And here they are.
Okay, nice. I feel, again, that's probably Minthara, like, assessing Karlach. Any more chatter?
Hear me out. Caress is caress.
It seems like this area is a bit of a trigger for it.
You're not staying in a brothel.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. I just don't want to miss any. I don't want to be, like, running, and because I can't hear as well through the headphones. So I'm scared of missing companion chatter, basically. Alright, let's run all the way past. Let's say hi to Nava. Hi! And it's time, here we are. Any more chatter? Minthara? Are we all good back there? Okay. Let's talk to this guy. Fist Shah. So I learn something new every single time I play. And recently I've understood that depending on the position that you have in the Flaming Fist, depends on the title. So being a fist is kind of like a standard soldier. But if we look over here, this one is called Blaze Ellen. And she's kind of like a bit more of a commander. She's a higher up, basically. A Blaze is above a fist. Hi.
Worms Rock's off limits. You got a problem? See Ellen there.
Your name's Shah? Shah with a H, not an R? Okay, keeping my eye on you, buddy.
You want past? Talk to Ellen.
Okay, will do. See? She's in charge. Right, I think the Emperor's gonna try and talk to us if I move closer, so... I'm trying to be careful because sometimes dialogue triggers over other dialogue and gets cut short. So I'm just kind of edging closer so I don't accidentally, like, overlap dialogue and miss anything. Hi.
Sorry, chum, can't let you through. Worms Rock's closed for the day.
Not close to Duke Older Ravengard's own son, surely.
You having a laugh, devil boy? I know Ravengard, and last I knew, his spawn wasn't sporting those horns. The joke's on you. No entry. That's the end of it.
They're just like, what's wrong with horns? The more the merrier, I say. We'll try to pull the same thing that he did getting into the lower span of Worms Rock, where he's kind of like, I am Duke Ravengard's son. He played the nepotism card, basically. And yeah, she was having none of it, similar to the last situation we were in. They don't believe that he's the son because of the horns. And that takes a lot of explaining. So, right, we have lots of options here. So we can, if you don't have any kind of pass, you've got options to kind of persuade or to, you know, use whatever class you've got if there's something that you can say there. We've got Investigator Valeria needs to see me in the lower city. A serial killer's on the loose. We do have a pass to get into the lower city. We have got an urgent dispatch for Duke Ravengard. This is the letter that we picked up in the post office. So that would work as well. So there's lots and lots of ways of talking your way in. We do have the Ordation Pass, which is what I'm planning on using. But first I want to say, I want to act stupid. I haven't heard anything. What's special about today?
Ordination is what? Lord Gortash is becoming Archduke. All the peers came to pay regards.
Ah, is that today? Must have slipped my mind. Turns out, see this? I've been invited to the ordination. I forgot my Danish voice isn't very good today. I'll keep working on it. Hang on. See this? I've been invited to the ordination. There we go. Got it.
Well, be. You don't look the posh sort. Last door on the right. Go on. Make merry.
Is that...
Lower the gates. Special permission.
Is that what you say to someone who's a patriarch of Baldur's Gate? Like, you know what they're like? They'd be like, I could have your job for that. Like, don't insult the patriarchy. Patriarchs. Oh, is that the word? Me. I studied like classical Latin and I think it's just clicked that when you say patriarchy, it's not talking about like men, it's talking about patriarchs, like the posh people. Is that right? I don't know. Language is hard. Right, I'm waiting for the Emperor to come whispering in my ear because I think it's about to happen. He's gonna have something to say. Edging closer, edging closer. No? Is he not chatting? Okay, alright, fair enough. Minthara? Let me actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to crouch.
Don't want to draw any attention.
Because
Don't mind if I do.
I feel like
Never wanted the easy path.
Minthara is absolutely about to talk.
You allowed that smith to meddle with your heart, Karlach, simply so you can be touched? Better to shut off the carnal desires than indulge them. They are distractions.
Yes, because every function comes with a handy switch. Next time I'm injured, don't heal. Just turn me off and on again.
You tried switching it off and on again. Hit crowd reference. That's funny. You allowed that smith to meddle with your heart, Karlach, simply so you can be touched. Better to shut off the carnal desires than indulge them. They are distractions. Says you! Anyway, right, if you're done talking... Sneaking in like this. Fist Blaze is just like, Fist Blaze, what's her name again? Blaze, whatever, Blaze Ellen. She's just going, what are they doing? Why are they... I knew they weren't normal. Okay, I'm going to stand up and we're going to get a cutscene, I think.
Halt! We do not know how you gained entry, but your trespass shall not be punished. Lord Gortash has been expecting you.
The Watcher's presence fades, but another takes its place. Confident, dominant, commanding.
Greetings, old friend. Orin told me you were on your way here, but I scarcely believed it. Welcome back to Baldur's Gate. Welcome home. Allow me to formally invite you to my inauguration. Make your way to the ceremonial hall.
We shouldn't have any more trouble from the guards.
Okay, so Gortash is indeed trying to sweet talk us. Very interesting. And he definitely seemed to recognize Dirge and...
Hells, not this again.
The brain is resisting its orders. Without all three stones to control it, it will soon start acting on its own will.
I'm sure I can do something about that. I'll go and fetch another netherstone right now, shall I? Let's...
You confound me, Will. You have all the illustrious iniquities of a warlock, and you choose to impress your partner with dancing.
It worked! What can you say?
Well, I'm hardly going to say, oh, come here, have a hug in the arms of Hadar.
Yeah, Minthara's definitely in a chatty mood. She's probably one of my favourites for companion chatter. Like, I'd say, like, all the ones that are kind of, like, a bit, like cunty about it. I'm trying to do the nail polish emoji. So Minthara, Shadowheart, Astarion, I think probably have some of the best dialogue. Oh, auto-saving, that is a bad sign. Okay, Steel Watcher, hi.
Citizen, you are being accompanied by a malfunctioning Steel Watcher. Please stand back.
I think you have the wrong hunk of metal.
False. Report your purpose, Steel Watcher. Why are you following these citizens unbidden? Ah. I understand your malfunction. Your unit is a highly outdated model. The Ragnak's casement protecting your metallurgized iced valves is burning well outside the recommended temperature. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for dismantling.
Oh, okay. In my head during all that, because she was like a hunk of metal, I was like, hunk of burning metal, like Elvis. It's like, that was just in my head. Okay, if I concentrate on what's happening. So the Steel Watch think that Karlach is a Steel Watcher because of her like metal heart, her infernal engine. Does that mean that the Steel Watch are also powered by infernal engines? What do I want to say first? Let's act a bit stupid. It thinks you're one of them, Karlach. Why?
Not sure. Maybe whatever keeps them going is similar to my tin can. Turns out I'm the fucking prototype for these things. I'll dismantle every single one of them.
Any threat to the Steel Watch is a threat to Lord Gortash himself. Please report to the Steelwatch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
About that, Gortash specifically said that Karlach and my party were to go to the coronation, so we'll do that later. I really want to ask, what can you tell us about... I want to say all of these, but I feel like it's going to lock me out. I'm going to ask about Gortash. What can you tell us about Lord Gortash?
Yeah. Anything spicy you can tell me about the old prick?
You will speak of our creator, Lord Enver Gortash, with respect. He is the savior of our city.
Is he though?
Currently being inducted as the Archduke of Baldur's Gate. You will keep your distance, Steel Watcher. You are malfunctioning. Report to the Steel Watch Foundry for immediate dismantling.
Let's make tracks before this thing gives me the Edict of Bane. See you around, soldier.
Okay, so, I don't want to risk clicking on it. Actually, do you know what? It did save.
Greetings, citizen. I trust you are enjoying the city.
Okay, so I did get locked out of some of the other bits of conversation there. That's interesting. So we do need to go to the Steel Watch Foundry anyway. We know from speaking to the Deep Gnomes and that kind of resistance group that the Gondians at the Steel Watch Foundry are the ones who built the Steel Watch. So that's who they have a vendetta against. We have a big massive bomb which we have been asked to use to destroy the Steel Watch Foundry. So the room powder bomb, 120 damage. So hopefully the Steel Watch don't realise that we're carrying that around. But yeah, we're already heading to the Steel Watch Foundry, so this actually gives us an excuse to go there and possibly a way in past the guards, because they'll be like, Karlach, get in there, get dismantled. It also means that possibly if we speak to the Gondians, they might know more about Karlach's heart and possibly a way to kind of fix it. If they're saying that Karlach's an outdated version, an outdated model, then maybe they have like an upgraded version that's more stable. So there's hope, basically.
That's right.
If I were you, I'd focus on my own job and leave the Steel Watchers to theirs.
I am so nosy. I love all the random conversations. I could sit here and just kind of earwig for the whole game. Like 500 hours of my gameplay time on this game is probably just me being like, like spying on people. I love the depth of it. I love that there is like, you know, they paid all those people. That's not AI. That's all the work of the voice actors who are doing like random chatter, which all had to be script righted, right? So if you're thinking, where did the money go? I don't understand what other games are spending their money on. Like, what are other games spending the budget on? Because I know where the budget went with Baldur's Gate, you know? Hello, you. Do you see what I see?
Please make your way
the devil of my
to the audience
dreams.
chamber.
My favourite patron.
If it isn't little Will, straight to your handler. And I didn't even have to whistle.
Mizora, I've had enough. You owe your life to me. Time to end the pact.
Feeling cheeky, are we? Most unbecoming. Heard about your father. The Absolute's puppet. A damned travesty, if you ask me. He's upstairs in Worm's Rock, ordaining Gortash as Archduke. A splendid party, I hear. Perfect for crashing. Go on up. We'll talk after.
What exactly are you doing here, Mizora? What is your interest in this? Is she just here to kind of wind Will up? She did say that Will's her favourite pet, so pushing his buttons, knowing that his dad is kind of like his sensitive point. Maybe she's just here with the popcorn, I don't know. Maybe she's got some kind of invested interest. Maybe the devils, well, the devils are interfering with what's going on in Baldur's Gate, because we know Raphael has those like white knight and white bishop orders, and the white pawn letter. So we know that representatives from the Hells are interfering in Baldur's Gate elections. Raphael doesn't work for Zariel. He's kind of a bit of a freelancer, but I think he's more related to Mephistopheles, where Zariel specifically works for... Sorry, Mizora works for Zariel. So I think they have competitive interests. They're kind of like two different groups of devils. But interesting nonetheless. So who do we have here? Lady Durinbolt's attendant, Lord Shattershield's attendant, and Lord Amber's bodyguard.
Look, I'm all for Gortash, but
Why
those
am I Karlach?
clankers, they don't sit right with me.
Because they do your job better than you and without complaining. It is unnerving.
AI reference?
Imagine where we'd be without them. The city would be overrun. They're all that's keeping this cult at bay.
He has a point. They make people feel safe, if nothing else.
Ha! You hear this? Tell my friends how safe you feel with those metal giants stamping about.
I mean, Karlach basically is one. I don't know why I clicked on them with Karlach and not Dirge. I think they have the same options though, so Karlach can say, sorry, gunk in the corner of my mouth. I've got lip balm on and it's like, she can say they're just tools like any other weapon. But I think we don't want to, we're not stirring things. We're not like making people, we're not like the tabloid media, right? We're not here to be like, no one's safe, the army's coming. Like, that's not what we're doing here today. We're not causing panic. We don't feel safer. I think the one that Karlach would be most likely to say would be like, I wouldn't trust him if I were you. They'll turn on all of us eventually.
You've been reading too many picture books.
Lord Gortash himself is the one pulling their strings. We're all better off for it.
Are you sure about that? Let me switch back to Dirge. And again, I don't know why I was called like that.
Never mind.
Hello, who are you? Waiter Jennaise?
Sorry.
James.
Sorry, these dukes are working me to the bone.
These aren't the dukes, they're just the attendants. I think you're okay.
Lady Alia says jump, and I jump. That's the way of things.
Sorry, I can hear something tapping. I'm just trying to move my wires around a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so there is a kind of class system at play in Baldur's Gate. You know, those who have and those who are benefit from those who have.
Lord Shattershield says Gortash won't be letting outsiders in. Good thinking, you ask me.
Well, like, some things that people say are so rude. Like, we've got a drow with us. What they would assume would be two tieflings and a dragonborn. And then they're like, oh, shouldn't let outsiders in. Rude.
Hell's hallows. The ceremony's gone on for days, seems like.
Yes, I do believe Gortash is rather long-winded. There's someone up here. So yeah, this is kind of like where all the attendants and bodyguards are all just hanging out waiting for them, pretty much. Interesting that Mizora's not actually in the attendance chambers. You know, she's been asked to wait downstairs. Lord Porter's attendant. Okay, so what's that thing that we had off Raphael? Here we go. Your task is finally at hand. A commander of the Sea Tower, you're close to the sub-commanders of the Flaming Fist. Sound them out as their willingness to support the possibility of Flame Porter's promotion. So Flame Porter to Marshal and perhaps even beyond. Encourage those who are lukewarm to be prepared to rank themselves behind Porter when events elevate her in power and prominence. However, for those who would oppose her, I think it says somewhere that she's the niece of like Lord Porter, so this is who Raphael's backing, basically.
Master Porter, I've taken the liberty of... Oh, you're not the master. Just as well.
Okay. Seems a bit nervous. I want to click on him again just to see if there's anything extra that he says. I'm here for the gossip. Give me the Raphael gossip.
Please, you mustn't distract me.
Why not?
Please, you mustn't distract me.
Oh, that's all he's got. Interesting that he's got like, that kind of like dark red colouring to his hair. Just a hint of the devilish nature, you know? Who's this? Lord Janeth's bodyguard.
Please make your way.
Bit impatient.
Hush. Patriarchs are upstairs.
Lord Janeth could call for me at any moment.
So a little bit hooty snooty. They're like, oh yes, I'm not just an average bodyguard. I'm the bodyguard to Lord whoever, Daisy Fluffington. Which honestly, Karlach pulls rank because she was the bodyguard to Gortash himself. Lady Durinbold's bodyguard.
I'm not sure I believe her. Cult army on the march, killer on the loose, and Mistress Durinbold still drags me hither and thither.
I love the half-orcs. Like, this is another thing with Baldur's Gate. Like, the fact that they went to the trouble of creating playable half-orcs and dragonborns and all the customization that you have with that. You know, like, I just feel like they went so much farther than a lot of the other, like Larian has gone so much farther than a lot of the other companies that could have handled this game would have gone. I do wish we had Tabassi. I'm never going to be salty that I'm never going to be not salty that we don't have Tabassi in Baldur's Gate. But apart from that, like, honestly, they did a banging job.
Did you hear, kin? The Absolute is on the march. But don't you worry. My lady assures me the Steel Watch will hold the line. There'll be nary a scratch on our scales.
Oh, so she talked to him because he's a fellow Dragonborn. Like, there won't be a scratch on our scales. I wonder what she says if you're, like, not a Dragonborn then. Waiter James, we spoke to him. Lord Portier's bodyguard, another bodyguard. Or was that an attendant?
Head up, chest out. Lord Portier could descend any moment.
Like, they're a bit anxious, which tells me that they might not be the best person to work for. If they're kind of like, oh, he might be here any moment, if they're jumpy about it, then he's probably demanding or, you know, dismisses them or punishes them easily if they're not kind of like fully alert and ready.
Lord, Archduke, God. I'll call Gortash what he wants. As long as Lord Chattershield pays me for all this waiting around.
Fair enough. Money talks, I guess, in Baldur's Gate. I don't know, what's that thing of like, when good men do nothing? You know, if everybody's just kind of like, a paycheck's a paycheck. I don't care what they're discussing up there. Like, you're technically kind of like supporting people doing not necessarily good stuff. You know, it's kind of like, I don't think people should put money above morals is what I'm saying. And that's a difficult thing to say because you need money, right? Like, there are so many people who have to work for companies that they don't agree with because they need the paycheck. Like, it's not easy to say, like, I don't agree with this. I won't, you know, people have to pay the bills. So such a tricky thing. But then when people do things en masse, you know, if everybody's like, right, we no longer support that company, we're not going to work for them, we're not going to buy the services, what is that company going to do?
Bruff's babbling, no time to talk.
I'm not talking about any specific company or situation in real life, but I could think of several. Like, if you asked me to name some, I could definitely think of several. Okay, who's this? Fist Dresden.
You're free to explore, within reason.
Oh, he's quite a cheeky chappy, isn't he? He seemed quite cheerful. Here we go. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to stop and restart because I'm almost at the 40-minute mark. And then we're going to go to the Intendant's Hall and confront Gortash. Maybe get into a fight. Maybe steal his netherstone. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Alright, what is happening here? So everybody is lined up and ready. We've got some guards knocking around at the sides. A lot of sneaky side areas. This looks like a handmaiden. Oh no, not the handmaids. Under his eye. I can't remember what else they say. What did they say? Under his eye. It's not peace be with you. There's something similar that's saying though, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I need to watch more Handmaid's Tale. I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes into the last season. And up here, this looks like Gortash and Duke Ravengard. I think we just need to head straight over there. Having said that, who have we got knocking around over here? Lord Petrick Amber, Lady Heril Birch, Lady Sillyfae Sashenstar, Lord Milton Tyburton. Have we got Lord Porter anywhere around here? Lord Huffington? No, Huff Hollian. Shattershield. I've seen that name. I'm trying to find Porter. Oh, Janeth. That's a familiar name. Here we go. Duke Dillard Porter. Okay, so he's got all the nobility, or pretty much most of the nobility of Baldur's Gate all lined up. And I think he's basically waiting for us at this point. I have tried to fight him in this room a few times with various results. So it's a challenge, I'm going to say it that way. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now, because I've been mentioning this and I was like, I'll tell you when we get to it. I'll tell you when we get to it. I once got into a fight immediately upon entering this room. And Gale was in my party and I got absolutely destroyed. It was carnage. And the only thing I could do with Gale was feign death. So he feigned death. And it was carnage all around him. And it was like his turns were going down and I was like, there's literally nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do to get out of this situation. He's just there on the floor like, oh. So yeah, feign death is not my favourite spell after that experience. Okay, let's stop faffing around. I'm going to stop chatting and we're just going to head over there and see what we get into.
Kinspeople, Baldurians, friends, thank you for joining me on this exceptional day.
Does Gortash think we're his friend?
Gortash, this is it? I can practically taste his blood from here.
My father's here, Karlach. Cool your fires. He must not come to harm.
Okay. So we've got competing interests there. Like, Karlach's thirst for revenge and just to kind of beat the shit out of him here and now. Just in front of everybody. She's like, we can take them. And Will is like, well, my father's there. Like, can we just figure this situation out before we start throwing fists? So we can agree with Will. Will is right. We attack Gortash and Ravengard falls too. Let's see. Let's get in while we have the chance. Lead the charge. I'm gonna go for this middle ground option because I like this for Dirge. I couldn't stand to see Gortash get its hands on you again, but let's wait for a more opportune moment.
So we bide our time, but make no mistake, that monkey is mine.
Monkey?
From earth do we rise. In fire are we forged. In steel are we mighty. Lord Enver Gortash, the people cry your name. Will you?
For the briefest moment you are one with Duke Ravengard. His mind is void. A vessel of the Absolute, awaiting command.
Father. My lord. We have a guest.
Exquisite timing. Dearest patriarchs, but a moment. Lord Enver Gortash at your service.
Look at these little winkle pickers. He's so stylish.
I understand congratulations are in order. Thorm's defeat hasn't gone unnoticed. You're known for who you are and for that netherstone that you carry. Ah, and my old friend, Karlach. It's no wonder your victory was so decisive. It's lovely to see you again, darling.
I'm sure it is.
We'll catch up once we've covered more pressing matters. Thorm's netherstone, more to the point. You know, it takes all three to control the brain. Without Thorm's, it's become vexingly willful. The quakes are a clear warning. If nobody steps in soon, it'll free itself from the authority of the crown. I expect it'll start with turning the Sword Coasts infected. You among them. That prism of yours won't last indefinitely. Next, the grand design. The Mind Flayer Empire reborn. If we're lucky, we'll become slaves. If we're unlucky, well, a bleak prospect. But it's a fate that can be avoided if you and I renew our old partnership. Together, we can still restore authority over the brain.
Like, I think he legit thinks we're friends. Like, I suppose we were quite pally in, you know, our past life as Dirge. You know, it appears that they got along quite well, but it could also just be Gortash's silver tongue, right? His charm, his way of complimenting people and making them, you know, acting like they're friends and kind of in order to manipulate them and get his own way. Strategically speaking, and Dirge is quite strategic, as much as he wants to. How mad can he really be at Gortash? Because he would be really, really angry about what he did to Karlach, because he's very, he loves Karlach, he's protective over her, you know, she's his very strong ally and he values that. Love's a strong word for Dirge, but I feel like he is definitely getting there. So he would be angry at Gortash for that. He doesn't like being tadpoled, he doesn't like being puppeted, but if that was Orin's doing, it wasn't necessarily Gortash's doing. What do we want to say? Because we want to be smart. Dirge is strategic. We don't want to start a fight right now, so I don't want to say anything too antagonizing. I like 3. I'm a changed person. I'm not siding with you ever again. But I also like 1 because it's like, what information do you have? Like, just, we don't have to be friends, but strategically speaking, we can't let the nether brain escape. So we could partner up against Orin and then deal with Gortash later. Why is the crown failing? Stupid. We know why the crown is failing. Because they've only got 2 people in charge of netherstones at the moment. We're just kind of like carrying it around with us. I want to avenge myself, I want to strike at Orin as a strategic thing to say, but I feel like I don't know how the others would react to that. I'm going to say, what kind of partnership do you have in mind?
There's an old wisdom. A brittle alliance can never be mended. It can only break. With Ketheric gone, Orin proves treacherous. She wants the netherstones for herself. She only cares for blood. And your blood and mine are of particular interest to her.
I'm gonna say, I will bring her to heel. I think. Your blood and my what are you guessing at? Let's say, what are you guessing at? I think that's fair. Like, you know what? Tell me more about what you're thinking here. Let me just see what that was. Sorry, future editing, Relly, cut this out. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's funny though because it said good boy. It was like a notification from Amazon, I think. And I don't know, like, Dirge is a good boy, you know. What are you getting at?
Orin changes shape faster than you and I change clothes. You know, she's tricked you before. She's targeted me as well. I'm well protected, but she's extremely good at what she does. If Orin obtains all 3 netherstones, she'll plunge the coast into chaos and paint the city in blood. I can't let that happen. I want to lead this city to glory, not scorch its earth.
I think he's fancy nails.
So I turn to you, the former ruler of the cult of Baal.
The former ruler of the cult of Baal. Okay. Like, we knew he was the chosen, but we were leading the whole last cult. You show proper respect. Good. I like 3. This makes sense. It's going to take a lot to make me trust you.
Let's make our pact anew. A divine oath, sworn upon spirit and flesh. I do no harm to you, nor you to me. Furthermore, you'll have nothing to fear from my steel watch while our pact stands. Thorm's stone is yours to keep. When you slay Orin and take her stone, you bring it here, so the 3 are united once again. Together we rule Faerun as kings. No, more than kings. Gods. We rule as the absolute.
And my father?
The urge, the deplorably brutal urge sickens within you. When you level the world over, that dead world must be yours alone. But first you will rule. Then you will ruin.
What do you say? Shall we be allies?
Daddy, hello.
No deceit.
Not you.
This alliance could serve us well. And if it does not, well, we need not honor it.
Let's be allies, said the viper to the frog.
Okay, that was a lot. A lot happened there. And in my head, I'm just seeing, because I mentioned It Crowd earlier, you know, when he bursts through the doors and he goes, "Father!" And so that's what my ADHD was doing, apparently, during that scene. Okay, right, let's think. As the player, as somebody who's played Act 3 a few different times, a lot of different ways, it makes strategic sense. Between you and me, if you're playing it and you want to do best case scenario, and this is my perfect playthrough, it makes sense to agree to ally with Gortash in this moment, because it makes traversing the city a lot easier, getting into certain places a lot easier. You're going to have a much harder time if you confront Gortash right now. So it's worth playing the long game in this situation. Obviously, Karlach is baying for blood. I think, truthfully, Dirge is too. He has no intention of allying with this person. The second thing that happened, so Baal, kind of making him feel that urge to kind of destroy everything. Baal is the god of murder. His father, Dirge is fighting that, right? He doesn't like losing his self-control in that way. He's like, if I destroy the world, it's going to be because I want to destroy the world, not because Daddy told me to. But he's got things worth fighting for at this point where, you know, his allies really truly have his back. Karlach, Minthara, Lae'zel. He's got things worth saving beyond the pointless need to destroy things or the pointless thirst for power. Like, what good is that to him? You know, the craving of power is for the Raphaels of the world. It's not for him. He does want revenge against Orin, because she was the one who attacked him, left him bleeding and bloody, tadpoled him, put him in the hands of Cressa Bone Daughter, who tortured him, redeployed him to go and find the Astral Prism, I think. He has no love for Orin. She keeps teasing him. She's threatening his allies. Yeah, he wants revenge against Orin. So does Minthara. So they can agree on that in the short term, at least. Orin betrayed me and you did nothing to help me then. What has changed? I like that. Yeah, where were you when Orin attacked me? Examine his body language and expressions. Can you trust him? We know we can't trust him. I think actually if you examine him, it says you can. Like, he genuinely wants to do this. And do you know what? We love little rat men in games. Orin betrayed me, and you did nothing to help me then. What has changed?
We would not meddle in each other's affairs. This was our agreement. She came to us as Baal's chosen. We are but servants to our lords. Your presence here means your lord sees a purpose for you yet. I tolerated Orin, but I liked you.
Right, okay, interesting. We had a few drinks with him, apparently. I know some people love, like, a romance between Dirge and Gortash. Especially if you're doing, like, the dark route. We're not going to be allies. I think I like... Yeah, let's do the examine Gortash's body language and expressions. Can you trust him? We've got advantage with the Ring of Truthfulness. Okay, we don't have any bonuses, so I'm going to need you guys to give me guidance on this. I might burn through my, what's it called? My thingies, inspirations here. Okay, tickle yo. Let's go. Oh, I think we did it. -1, 13, +1, 14, +4, yay. Okay, we've got it. Phew, okay. He's not the most intelligent.
Gortash's eyes blink in a consistent rhythm. He stands calmly, confidently. He fully intends to share his kingdom with you.
Okay. Right. I'll think about it. No promises.
Perhaps a demonstration of why you need my help will motivate you to make the right decision. Your camp is compromised. One among you is an imposter, a faceless. Who, I can't say. I'd suggest a thorough investigation. You'll find I speak the truth. The faceless in your camp is like a knife at your throat. Remove it quickly, or any alliance between us would be exceedingly short-lived.
I think this is the point where I got the... On my first playthrough, I think this is the point where I got my Shadowheart cutscene. And I was like, she, you know, where she's kind of like, come down to the beach with me, come alone. I was like, oh my god, it's Shadowheart. It's Shadowheart's a faceless. Okay. The puppy next door is barking. It's okay, puppy, it's only me. I know it's a scary moment, but it's fine. You, Ketheric the Brain. What was the plan before Orin interfered? I want to know the answer to that. You, Ketheric the Brain. What was the plan before Orin interfered?
In Baal's name, you set your bloody daggers to cause panic in the streets. Killing in the Absolute's name. You would have carried out that part of the plan had Orin not ruined your hard work. Next, the threat of the Absolute's monstrous armies formed by Merkel's general, Ketheric Thorm. In such circumstances, people crave strong leaders. Leaders that bring law, order, and protection. Leaders like me, Bane's unyielding hand, author of justice. You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power over them, all out of fear of the Absolute. Next, we will declare curfew and begin infecting the masses. Our subjects will hear the voice of their absolute god. The faithful will do anything in the name of their god.
Which is kind of what they're doing as the chosens of their god, right? Like, Gortash being a chosen of the god Bane, who is a tyrant god. Orin and Dirge being chosen of their god Baal, who's the god of murder. So that thing about murdering in the god's name, and Dirge's part in the plot, that is being carried out by Orin now. So that murder we were investigating on behalf of the kind of elephant Hollyphant guy, and the list that we found, it did actually say on those instructions, we know they're Baal lists, and it did actually say blame it on the Absolute, claim you're working for the Absolute. So that is the plan that Dirge was supposed to do in the beginning. And Ketheric being a chosen of Merkel, like raising that undead army. So, you know, they're doing the same thing. They're doing anything in the name of their gods. We can say glorious, then let us be gods, you and I. I guess that's a romance option. And you can't actually romance Gortash. I think they just kind of get a bit fruity. A bit flirty, you know? But I know that there's a camp out there, like me, and being like, let me romance Raphael. I know there's people who are like, let me romance Gortash. Where in the nine hells did you find a powerful artifact like the crown?
Powerful connections. Let's leave it at that.
No, I want to know more about that. Tell me more about that, because we know that the crown was stolen by the Vault of Mephistopheles. Actually, we do know more, because we spoke to Carilla at the Sharessa's Caress, and she said the Diabolists can help people break into the vault, and she was talking about people breaking into the vault and stealing the crown and Gortash.
Yeah, a diabolist with a loose sense of duty and a hunger to be richer than Mammon. Devils often have prettier hoards than dragons. Sneaking thieves into their vaults is a lucrative business. Doesn't usually end well for the thieves. But sometimes the thieves are rich, smart, or well-connected enough to come back in one piece. Take our esteemed Lord Gortash, for example. I almost wish he'd asked me. I'd have told him to stick his gauntlet where the sun don't shine and wiped that smug little grin off his face.
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know the people who stole the crown were Gortash and Dirge. And I think possibly Ketheric. And they're the ones that broke into Mephistopheles' vault and stole the crown in the first place. And so when we were talking to Raphael and he was like, yes, it does annoy me that someone stole the crown when I wasn't successful. I was like, oh, does that really annoy you, Raphael, knowing it was Dirge? Anyway, I've heard enough. Am I free to go?
Soon. First, come and be witness as I make history. The first Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
Fine. Let's get it over with.
You will follow me, and you will show due respect.
Will I, though?
Distinguished dukes, patriarchs, dearest Ravengard, I will heed your call. A new chapter begins.
He is very robotic, the way he's moving.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
From yourself?
I swear.
Swearest thou true faith and fealty to the same, by word, deed, and decree, so that none may suffer?
I swear.
Gathered guests, grant ye consent?
We're saying nothing. We're just kind of like...
Enver Gortash, the council appoints you Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
And remember, everybody loves
My friends,
Ravengard.
the Steel Watch stands ready. Let its blade fall on any who would diminish our city. And you, honored guest, will find me in my office above when you return. Do not come empty-handed.
Minthora's face was making me laugh there. She was kind of like behind him. Yeah, remember all these people, they really, really trust and love Duke Ravengard. He's a very, very popular Duke, known for his wisdom and, you know, being a good judge of character. So if he's there vouching for Gortash, like, you know, these people are all going to be convinced. Karlach has something to say. Right in between these two people. Maybe we should move away to somewhere a little bit quieter for this. Because they are all shouting out the plans. Like, Gortash was there in that big echoey place, like, loudly in front of all those people going, yeah, we're just going to tadpole everybody and I'm going to, like, be in power. I'm using these people, you know. Karlach.
So there you have it. Lord Enver Gortash in all his glory. What did you make of him?
I can't wait to flatten him. He seemed like an absolute fraud in a very nice coat.
Yeah. Fucker always had expensive taste. I don't know how anyone in this hall could fall for this charade. Isn't it obvious what a chancer he is?
Looking at the camera when I say this, not you, but art imitates life. When people are scared, they'll do whatever it takes to feel safe. So you do see in real life when, again, no specific places, but when there's a lot of scaremongering stories, you know, you're watching the news, you're scrolling social media, you're seeing the front page of newspapers, and it's scary. People are more likely to allow people who are more tyrannically inclined to rush through laws or policies that aid that tyranny. So they might give sweeping powers to police, for example, or, you know, law enforcement agencies or other agencies, because it's kind of like, those people are scary, we need to get rid of them, like, trust me. So just remember Baldur's Gate, remember Gortash, remember the plan when you're seeing things in real life, because this game was not created in a vacuum. It was created with knowledge and examples of these things happening, historically speaking, again and again and again, because people don't learn. So again, that waves of fear, it's a tool of tyrants.
And they expect these big metal monsters to tuck them in at night while the Absolute knocks on the gates. If only they knew the truth. The Dead Three orchestrated all of this. And it's working. I wish this city, the people running it, were smarter than me. Gortash isn't their salvation. He's the monster at the gate.
Yeah. 100%. And again, like, I find it very easy to see what is happening, where those strings are being pulled in real life, because of my degree, studying classics, studying kind of literature, speeches, a lot of politics in there, a lot of why art is created, why the literature that we have today handed down to us survived, why that was important to so many people, because you put it into the context of what was happening in the times that these things were written. And so being somebody who can see the patterns and see exactly what's happening and see the headlines and be able to read beyond it And to hear the political speeches and the things that are in politicians' mouths and know what's really happening. And I know a lot of you do, because I think a lot of the people who watch my channel, we're kind of, we're probably wired the same way, right? To be able to see it, and people keep spouting idiotic things, and you're looking at society and you're looking at people who are blindly believing what's in the newspapers or what's on the TV screens or what's on the social media without fact checking it or without asking basic questions. That kind of emotional fear-mongering rhetoric falls down very, 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 very quickly when the basic amount of questioning is applied, a basic amount of logic and reasoning, not even like an expert, but just asking simple questions. The holes are revealed. And so it's so frustrating to see people continue to spout this baseless rhetoric in real life when you know that if they just activate the brain, if they just switch on the brain, it doesn't make sense to them. But they continue to do it because they're motivated by a place of fear or emotional triggers. And just that drip feeding of hearing something again and again and again and thinking it's a truth without it actually having any reason behind it. One of my favourite Shakespeare lines is, hell is empty, and all the devils are here, and what is it? And men have lost their reason. I'm so bad at quotes. Let's speak to a few of these people. Fist Earthdigger.
Absolute army won't stand a chance. Gortash will crush them like roaches under his boot.
What is that quote? All the... And men have lost their reason.
I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. Oh, judgment! Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason!
I can't remember the quote. It really annoys me when I can't remember quotes and names. I've got a bad memory.
Times of strife produce the finest leaders. Archduke Gortash will be no exception.
Right. I'm sure it does benefit some people, for certain people to get into power.
Archduke? Quite something, don't you think? I dare say Baldurang himself would approve.
I trust
Would he, though?
was denied.
An historic day, the city's first Archduke.
She's fancy. I can't talk to her though. Who are you?
Hail the Archduke. His safety is my duty.
Right. What about your kids' safety? What about the future's safety?
Thank the living gods, Gortash is here to protect us.
So they're believing the propaganda, basically.
Finally, a leader worthy of this city.
Good day to you.
You're pretty. You'd be a very popular handmaid. Footman Dinu?
Part of the fabric of the city.
I may speak only to my lord. Terribly sorry.
Oh, so freedom of speech is not a priority here. Okay, got it. All right, I've worked my way around to the front. Let's sneak over here and see what Ravengard has to say. Come on, Will, let's speak to your dad.
Truest of souls, bathed in her light.
There is a fleeting connection. Your parasite communes with his, then falls quiet.
Father, my dearest boy, the hells have touched you, but you've come to me just as Gortash said you would. A true soul, no less. Father and son, unstoppable generals. You and your allies will usher in a new dawn.
So there is an evil route for Will there, if you want to take it. So we've got a lot to say. By the gods, what have they made of the city's great hero? New Dawn, is that what... And do you know what? Gortash probably used Will against Ravengard. He probably used that as the carrot on the stick to get Ravengard close in the first place before he tadpoled him. New Dawn, is that what you call the tyranny the Absolute brings to Baldur's Gate? Indeed, the Absolute will bring glory upon this fair city. I'm going to treat him like an old person with Alzheimer's. I'm going to try and connect to him. I'm going to actually do the thing of trying to connect to him emotionally, right? I'm trying to see if there's any Duke Ravengard left in there. So I'm going to name drop. I'm going to name drop his bestie. I'm here to help you. Floric sent me.
Help me? Ah, the Black Widow caught you in her web. Floric chose shadow over light. Her betrayal burned deeper than the fires of Avernus. She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get to you.
How do Baldurans punish traitors? Hanging? Dismemberment? I hope we get to see.
Thara, that is not helpful, Minthara. I'll see if I can get any more companion reactions there. Okay. Connect with Ravengard's parasite to seek information about Floric. Or what have you done to Floric? I'm just going to ask. What exactly have you done to Floric?
I stilled her tongue. That's the end of the matter.
No, it's not, sir. I'm coming in. Prepare yourself. I'm coming in. Elithid Wisdom, connect to -1. Oh god, I'm going to need your guidance here, guys. Connect with Ravengard's parasite to seek the information about Floric. Why don't I have anyone with me who can help? Oh, it's only a DC of 2. Okay. If I roll a 1, I am fucked anyway. If I roll a 2, -1 + 1, it would balance out. Okay. We need to roll at least a 2. Okay, guidance. Okay, there was a chance that was going to go horribly, horribly wrong, but we're okay. Continue.
Within Ravengard's memories, you find Councillor Floric. She is confined in a cell right here in Worm's Rock.
The sun rises, true soul. Are you ready?
To go on a rescue mission for Councillor Floric? Absolutely. We're not... I don't think we want to trigger him. I think under his breath he's going to go, by the gods, what have they made of this city's great hero?
What is a hero, if not an actor for the greater good? Faerun suffers in darkness. Tyr has abandoned us. Helm's Eye has strayed. But Baldur's Gate will soon burn bright, a beacon to light the heavens. Gortash and I will ignite the final spark, and that, true soul, is the greatest of goods.
No. This isn't him. This is the tadpole talking.
For a brief moment, uncertainty clouds his mind, then dissipates. The astral prism vibrates in concord.
What nonsense is this?
The prism quivers once more. Ravengard falters.
As I said, Baldur's Gate will ascend. Torill's first and only grand city.
Did you hear my back crack on that third? I need to do yoga. Okay. Oh my god, so much to say. One, he has that vibe of, you know, when you get preachers who are like feverish, you know, and like the congregations that kind of in that feverish, like they get kind of like riled up into kind of almost like a fervor. He's got that energy about him, but that tinkling of doubt, that voice of reason in the back of his mind that's still there, that gives me so much hope. And I think that's really interesting as well, because I think a lot of the time when people do get swept up by some kind of see you later Toby, and that's not to say all religion's bad, but I think you definitely get like fringe religions where they are whipping people into a fever and, you know, exploiting people. And I think in the heart of hearts, people probably know that that's not true. I always think, what does your heart say? Sorry, my camera cut out for a second there. When people get whipped up into a frenzy and like they end up doing horrible things in the name of whatever see you later Toby they've been indoctrinated into, I always think the people themselves talk about like it felt wrong, it didn't, like I knew like something in my heart was telling me. I think if you want to say where is God, right, whatever religion or whatever you believe a higher power to be, some of you don't believe in that at all, that's fine, it may be just your conscience, but that, what does your heart say, right? What is that little tiny voice of empathy or good, you know? I think that is the God within us all. Anyway, and it's different from that gut instinct. The gut instinct dies, like lies, sorry. You know, that gut instinct of I'm scared, so we need to do something horrible. That's not the voice. The voice comes from a different place. As I said, Baldur's Gate will ascend, Toriel's first and only grand city. And I say voice, I'm talking more about like a deep knowing, an instinct, you know? I want to explore Ravengard's uncertainty. Okay. It's a DC of 2 again, guidance me. Oh, in the clear, absolutely. Fabulous.
First comes a vision of terror. The city of Baldur's Gate taken by Illithids.
So he's scared.
But beyond the terror, there is hope. You see a beaming Raven Guard presiding over the sunlit city, applauded by the people. A people at peace.
Raven Guard, the real Raven Guard, is in there somewhere. We can't give up on him.
Have we finished then?
It is kind of like that, like Alzheimer's-y thing of like you get glimpses of who they were before. Yeah, all right, see you later, buddy. We're gonna go rescue Floric, I guess. Okay, Will wants to talk. We can't go through there. That is not a room for privacy. Let's just go over here. This person's scribbling away back here. Okay, what do you want to say, Will?
Incredible. To hear my father's voice speak those words. Like a stranger wrapped in his flesh. But there's still a glimmer of him in there, calling for release. I feel it. I know it. I won't let the Absolute keep him. This is my pledge.
We got it. Mizora, we're good. We will speak to Mizora again, though, when we go back downstairs. What else do people have to say?
It would have been prudent to ally ourselves with Gortash. While Orin lives, she is the greatest threat to our survival.
Like, I get where she's coming from. Like, we didn't not ally ourselves, we just didn't agree to it. We can ask more, do you know anything else about Gortash?
He is rather fond of himself. If he truly intends to be the savior of Baldur's Gate, perhaps he has reason to be.
Stop siding with the evil people, Mithara! He won't save the city. We will.
Even if I personally faced down the army of the Absolute and drove it from the city single-handedly, I would not be welcomed as a savior. No matter what I do, the people of Baldur's Gate will always see me as an enemy.
I mean, I don't know, there's a few Drow here. Cuddy is from here. There's the Drow in Sharessa's Caress, you know? Okay, here's a reference to older games, I guess, which I guess I'm going to discover as I play them. Do you want to be their savior? That's an interesting question. They'd be right too. Their opinion doesn't matter. I'm curious about the top one, but I think this is pulling on me the most. Minthara, do you want to be their savior?
From the cult and the Illithids? Of course. And then I suspect I want exactly what Gortash wants. To be feared. Isn't that what you want? When we have all 3 Netherstones and control the Elder Brain, all of Faerun will have reason to fear us.
You're hot, but you scare me. Have you ever seen anything like the Steel Watch before?
No. They seem to combine the obedience and strength of a golem with the precision and intelligence of their creator. For now, they act as a defensive wall of steel, but their true purpose is conquest. Mechanized slaughter. Imagine how quickly the Grove would have fallen if we had machines like those to command. Imagine how quickly a city would fall. Gortash has revolutionized warfare.
The girl wants what she wants. In the right hands, they could keep the peace without risk of bloodshed.
Without bloodshed on the winning side, perhaps. The machines will always need something to kill, if only to show their strength. That is why we should make sure we are the ones giving the orders, rather than the ones on the receiving end of them.
To be fair to Minthara, right, I'm much more of a peacekeeper. I think war's bad for everybody involved. But, like, yeah, no, I do think that. I was second guessing myself, and then I stand by what I said. But you need Mintharas in the world in order to, because especially in Faerun, right, there are threats. There are so many different groups, not like races of people, right? And I'm not talking about kind of like black, white, which going into the idea of race as itself as a concept has a very weird history with a human race. There's only one race of people, guys. Like, again, go and do your fact checking. But, and like look into the history of those concepts as well. But literally here we've got dragonborns, we've got goblins, we've got orcs, ogres, gnolls, right? Not everybody is at peace, and not every, you know, there are threats. And so having a Minthara in that situation on your side is not a bad thing, I guess. We're gonna chill her out. Listen, she's had a hard time. You know, she just needs to chill a little bit. Right, we're done. Karlach.
Soldier.
I thought she'd have a bit more to say, but I guess not. I thought she'd have something to say about Will's dad.
An imposter in our camp. We must identify them. And quickly. Without trust, our fellowship is doomed to wither and die.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wish to consult me?
Okay, I was just checking for dialogue. Wait, I'm okay. I just wanted to ask a few more questions of everybody. Okay, let's have a talk with these people. Lord Rugger Shattershield.
The Steel Watch has made an impenetrable fortress out of the Sword Coast crown jewel. I can't think of a better endorsement for Gortash than that.
Okay. This lady looks like she's enjoying a drink. Lady Alia Durimbold.
Ravengard has not once failed this city. If he trusts Gortash, then so do I.
You're pretty, but you're stupid. This person looks like they're from House of the Dragon.
Archduke Gortash, man of the people. The right people.
The right people. I see. Eschfelt Guthmir?
An Archduke! Finally someone who can stand up to those wretched absolutists.
Again, the idea of like a manufactured crisis is very interesting. Porter, hello, Duke Dillard Porter. About your niece joining the Flaming Fist and hanging around with devils, apparently. We don't know if they're allied with the devil or if the devils just have an interest in getting them into the right position. We don't know who's a warlock here, basically.
What glory our city, and what glory its future.
Its future, your niece, you mean? Okay, let's have another chat with Gortash.
Dearest Karlach, I'd busy myself finding Orin if I were you. I'll still be here for any unfinished business once you've secured your camp.
That's it? That's all you have to say to me?
Were you hoping for something else? A word of wisdom? A hug?
Thanks to you, I don't hope for things anymore. I just take whatever it is I want. See you soon, motherfucker.
You most certainly will.
Okay, I'm glad we had that little conversation. That was fun. Did we speak to these two? I can't remember. He's fancy. Wizard?
Archduke Gortash. Now there's a man who knows good business.
He does seem like a bit of a wheeler dealer, I'll give you that. Doesn't make him a good person or someone that you should put your faith in. Winstra Holland?
Finally, a leader with some charisma. Ravengard was quite the dullard.
Right, okay. People being dull doesn't make them a bad leader. To be fair, it is good for leaders to have charisma, but it doesn't mean that they're good, if that makes sense. I can definitely think of a few politicians that I personally voted for who was not the most charismatic, but definitely had better values consistently as well. When you go and look at what they've done since, you know, who's on the right side of history and who isn't. And like some leaders who get into power because they're very charismatic, who do really not a lot of good for countries.
A commoner made Archduke of Baldur's Gate. I never thought I'd see the day.
Commoner?
Away, if you please. I am here at the service of Lady Birch.
Even the servants have airs and graces. What's going on?
My lady, what are they thinking? Giving a fellow like that such power? I give him a year at most.
Explain?
People like him are meant to follow, not to lead. Archduke Gortash will realize that soon enough.
Oh, she's being a snob because he's got, he's a commoner, right? That's what it is. Because he's not like the landed gentry.
I so fancy a glass.
A good leader knows when to step aside. Ravengard did the right thing.
I don't think it was a choice he made, to be honest.
Never you mind.
A city is only as mighty as its leader. Under Gortash, no army can breach our walls.
My good lady.
I don't know why I'm picking on all these people. I think just because
my palate needs
the creators of the game put the work in to do all this, and so it's worth showing it in my perfect playthrough and giving that credit to all the voice actors, all the writers. Again, if you go back and look at, I think Baldur's Gate spoiled me because when I played Dragon Age of Veilguard, and most of the people were just kind of like stood around, not animated that much, couldn't click on anyone, like the depth of the environment by being able to like interact with all these people is just incredible to me. Like this is what I expect from games going forward.
From the wheel. I am at my lady's service and hers alone.
Because it's world building, it's context. You know, seeing all these different opinions and different reasons why people have different opinions.
The city is only as strong as its walls. Gortash understands this.
You know, understanding why people get into power.
The Absolute's blight will be a hard one to cure. Gortash is the Archduke for the job.
And also that feeling of like they're all saying the same thing, they're repeating the narrative, right? They're indoctrinated because they're all saying, they're in their own little bubble and they're all going, yes, yes, oh, he's the right person, strong walls, great leader.
Under Gortash, we're safe. More to the point, my fortunes are safe.
Right. Self-interest. What could go wrong?
Ravengard has spoken. Long live Archduke Gortash.
Right. It's that thing of like, if you hear it enough, you start to believe it. If everybody around you is saying it, then you start to believe it. There's actually social experiments, you can go and find them, quite freely available, where, you know, you'll walk into a room and there'll be 4 people sat there, but they're all in on it. And something will happen and they'll all stand up. And then you kind of like, why are we all stood up? And then they'll all sit down. And then the new people coming into the room start to do it as well. They start to copy that social behaviour without knowing why they're doing it. And then gradually they remove the original people and keep adding more and more people. And by the end of it, everyone in the room, they're all standing up on this command and all sitting down on this command without actually knowing why they're doing it, just because everybody else is doing it and they didn't question it. And that's how these things happen. So if the headlines of the newspapers day after day after day after day say, those people are the problem, those people are the problem, and you go to the pub and everybody's like, yeah, those people are the problem, those people are the problem, it becomes a common belief without actually having any inherent value or logic or reason to it. But that drip feeding, it's a form of mind washing that happens in every country. Like, if you think it's not happening to you, you're brainwashed. Like, you need to be able to see it happening to keep your thoughts.
Ravengard freed from the Hells, Archduke Gortash secures our borders. Baldur's Gate's future is bright indeed.
Yeah, it's surprisingly common and easy to do. It happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see it, it's really hard to unsee it. So hopefully you're all going to be as crazy as me from now on. And looking at these things and being like, oh, I see it. Okay, let's go back down and talk to Mizora again and see what exactly she was on about down there. Are you here to just give us a hard time, Mizora?
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree.
I've had enough, Mizora. What do you want?
Your attention, little pup. Nothing more. And you'll be glad to give it. You see, Gortash has had your father relocated.
What do you mean? We just saw him and he wasn't a shapeshifter. We like tadpoled with him and everything. What are you on about? Relocated. What are you playing at, devil?
Rude. I'm just an impartial observer. This is Gortash's game. A murderous one, the way I hear it.
Shit.
Your dad's good as dead, pup. And to think, there's no way to save him. Or is there?
You know something.
I know enough. I'll be in your camp if you want to work something out.
It's because she's, he broke the contract, right? Because he did that thing to free her from where she was caught in the colony, the Mind Flayer colony. And we said we'd free her if she let Will free. So this is her trying to keep Will in his contract, I think. She's manipulating him.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning?
Your father's involved, which means it's worth hearing her out.
Mizora's always worth hearing out. That's what makes her so dangerous. We'll have answers soon enough. Mizora's gone to camp. We should speak with her. Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to.
Okay, I think we need to just actually go and verify that. Like, is that true? Yeah, he's not there. We can go and ask. Gortash is like, what? Did I do bad?
Kill Orin and take her Netherstone. Find me in my office upstairs when it's done, and do not return until it is done. Let this be my one warning.
It doesn't bother to explain himself. Okay. I guess we'll go and talk to the devil in our camp then. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go downstairs and then go straight to camp. I guess it's a way of him keeping Will under his thumb or something. Or maybe he's just served his use. He's like, you did what I needed, you ordained me Archduke. Your purpose here is done. Bye. Which I guess if he's finding him disposable, what's to say that we should trust him, you know? Who says that as soon as we kill Orin, he's not just going to turn on us and get rid of us as well? Anyway, camp. Let's go and see if we can find Mizora. Is she here somewhere? I assume she's going to be hanging out near Will. No, just the Oathbreaker. Well, she's not here yet. I don't see her anyway. Okay, maybe she'll come up in like a cutscene later. In that case, I'm going to switch to Team B, my fancy little group here. And I've got Cordia, Astarion, Gale, and Shadowheart in this group. So we're going to go and do... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to switch for Will. So I'm going to keep Gale and Astarion, and Shadowheart, you wait here. Will, you join the group, and we're going to go and rescue... what's her name? Floric, Councillor Floric, who was, if you've forgotten who Floric is, she was at the Last Light Inn. No, she was originally in Act 1. She was at Joaquin's Rest, which was the place that was on fire, and we rescued her from the upstairs room. And she said that the Duke Ravengard had been taken by the Absolute. She was like intent on tracking him down and getting help. Then we saw her at the Last Light Inn, where she said that she was heading to Baldur's Gate to try and like raise a bit of an army so that we could march on Moonrise Towers and get Ravengard back. So she has been actively acting against the Absolute. So Gortash has clearly kind of, you know, brushed her under the rug a little bit. We need to get her back because she's an ally to us, and she's hidden in Worms Rock Fortress in the prisons, which are underneath Worms Rock. So, rescue mission activated. Do we have an actual thing for this? Here we go. Free Councillor Floric. Councillor Floric is being held deep within Worms Rock. That is where we'll find her. So we do actually have a mission for this. So let's head in. I'm going to go to, again, south span of Worms Crossing. Let's check for companion dialogue.
How about the flop house?
You never know.
It has plenty of spare beds.
Great.
And also, look at my boys. Look at how fancy they all are. I love this City of Brass outfit on Astarion. Gale's looking pretty fancy there as well. Like, and my boys look the part. This is why I'm taking this little group as well. Well, for a couple of reasons on this rescue mission. One, they look the part. Like, this group look like Baldur's Gate nobility. They've got the airs and graces. Like, Gale being from Waterdeep, which is a very, very rich, fancy place. Astarion being, like, a magistrate, like, having that, like, Baldur's Gate glamour. And, you know, obviously Will being the son of the Duke, who has just been ordained, like, you know, important person. So, yeah, this is the gang that's going with me. But they might have some other skills that are going to come in useful on this rescue mission as well. So, I have carefully chosen this little gang.
Let's go to Calm's Gums. She has
Come on, boys. Rescue mission in operation.
Watch your power up for the first time. My heart flutters at the thought.
Okay, can we get in? Hello.
Something's on my mind.
I'm with you then.
We do have, it doesn't make sense that we didn't talk our way in, but we do actually have a spare. We've got 2 Archducal Coronation and mission passes. So we would have got in anyway. Yeah, we're free to enter, apparently. Okay, here we are. Any chatter?
The city fell under Gortash's charms without him casting nary a spell.
Well, most people are idiots, Will. You can lure them into a dragon's maw if you promise a bag of sweets.
The people aren't stupid, Astarion. They're scared. Gortash provoked a damned war, and then promised them safety.
I would say fear makes people stupid.
Safety, sweets, it's the same principle.
Yeah, so he's talking about like that carrot and the stick approach. Right, we don't need to go back into the Coronation Hall, so let's try door number 1.
Let's see. Are they going to arrest us?
Let's rehearse this
What if
one
they throw
more
us in
time.
jail?
Pretend I'm a fist and tell me what
Calm
you're
down,
doing in
dear.
the house.
It won't happen, I swear.
Officialiness, we
I
broke
can't
down
very
the
clear
door.
that PTR. He wasn't even hurt.
Like somebody was in trouble.
That's why
inside.
nothing's gonna happen to us.
The house was on
We'll
fire.
tell them what
We were
happened,
rescuing
and we'll be home in no
I
time.
spoke to a witness who says you entered the house before the fire started.
You've been saying that for ages, and we're still here. What are they waiting for?
What my friend means to say is that the
I
witness
don't
must
know,
have been
dear.
mistaken.
I don't know.
Probably a drug.
All we can do is be patient.
I almost believed you this time.
So this is like people waiting to go in front of a magistrate, and like people who have been accused of crimes and they need to like defend themselves. So Sister Franchot.
Are they going to arrest us?
It's the waiting that's hard. If we could just talk to one of the fists, it would be as clear as day that we're not criminals.
Okay, what did you do?
Broke down.
You heard anything about what it's like in the prisons? Actually,
Excuse me.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
So it sounds like the Fist are being a bit tyrannical, right? They're cracking down on people that maybe haven't really done anything wrong. Like these people sound like they were doing like rescuing people from a fire.
No time to talk. I have clients to brief, and they're as sharp as spoons.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna happen to us.
Oh, leave it out. I've got a trial coming up, and I need to rememberize my lines.
Good luck.
I ain't saying nothing to nobody until I've had my trial.
So yeah, whether or not they're guilty or innocent, can't quite tell at this point.
I don't know.
Let's go and have a chat with this person here.
Is be patient.
Clea Oril.
This is the armory, not a bloody open house. Fists only. Now clear off.
Oh, I was actually looking for the jail. I need to visit somebody. I need to visit my father in the jail. Oh, an armory. Anything interesting? Perhaps I could trade with you.
Trade? Do I look like a shopkeeper? This equipment isn't for sale. It belongs to the Flaming Fist.
So we can talk her into opening up shop basically, which I'm going to do just because I want to show you this. We can do deception. Lord Gortash himself told me to speak to you about my requirements when you're not informed. Either you trade with me or I suggest you stop running. What if I were to pay for like, oh, I like this one. Persuasion. We're basically bribing her. What if I were to pay for, say, Astarion, a trading license first? I feel like Astarion's whispering in her ear. He's like, trading license. Ask buy a trading license. She doesn't realise she's bribing her. Okay, here we go. Now I've got my advantages. I can give myself guidance. I've got bardic inspiration if we need it. Yeah, let's go for it. Here we go. Guidance, mate. Oh, ouch. Yeah, we've got it. I didn't need the bardic inspiration. I kind of wasted it there, but we're all good. I'm gonna drink some water, guys. I'm sorry. It's a bit warm. My mouth's getting really dry. It's all that like rizzing people up. You've got to keep your mouth lubricated, you know, for the lies that slip out.
A trading license? Right. Right. Yes. I could provide you with one of those for the official fee.
So I think this is just an example of money getting you into places in Baldur's Gate. It's like, grease the right palms, and you know, the law is a bit more flexible if you've got money. Do I want to give her the gold? She doesn't actually have anything worth buying. As far as I'm aware, she doesn't have anything particularly special. For now, I'm just going to say, thank you so much. I will keep that in mind.
Good. Clear off then. I'm busy.
Oh, that poster's here. Gortash on it. Ugh. How about... Oh, let's talk to this person who's on the move.
In trouble.
They say Gortash won't be king, but that pomp upstairs sure sounds like a coronation.
That's interesting as well. One of my favourite things to study, which I went quite in depth into, was Augustus, who's, people call him the first emperor of Rome after the Roman Republic fell. He'd never called himself emperor, and he was very, very careful not to do that because he would have had backlash for it. So this idea of like how people get into power, and they may be kings in name, like kings in all but name. So Augustus was really clever. He had a huge amount of power that was centralized under his authority in a system that was on the surface still a republic. So yeah, you know, it's like a king by any other name sort of thing. So yeah, it's really interesting to see how specifically that era of the end of the Roman Republic, you know, where democracy was king, and then you get that centralized autonomous power in one person. And again, he wouldn't have called himself an emperor, but we call him the first emperor of the Roman Empire. So interesting to see the details of that and how that happened and his propaganda campaign. And yeah, like, I don't know, just if you're interested in looking into that more, like, it's a good rabbit hole to go down.
Be patient.
The flaming fists don't stand for trouble, so stay out of it, yeah?
Right, okay, so, I just, is this the way? I don't know which one to go down. Do they both go to the same place? I'm gonna try this one. Okay, Worms Rock Prison, we made it! Perfect. They just let us come down here. Oh, look, this person's sleeping. Are they going to talk while they're asleep? What's this book? Prison log. Record of prisoners charged before the people of Baldur's Gate. Memorandum of the Honourable late Enver Gortash. What? Late? What? Not late. He didn't die. Memorandum from the Honourable Lord Enver Gortash. How does he speak? Let no prisoner. Do you know who Gortash is? Have I told you? He's Malfoy's dad. He's like a really famous actor. Let no prisoner be released from neither their cell nor Worms Rock proper without my explicit consent. Presume every detainee an absolutist spy until they provide me substantial evidence to the contrary. Baldur's Gate must be kept secure. Name, Earspoon, nice name. Indecent exposure, absolved and released with prejudice on order of Lord Gortash. Apparently Lord Gortash does not mind a little bit of indecent exposure, probably a friend of them. Otto Ott, drunken and disorderly conduct, again detained. Councillor Floric. So there's only 2 people in there at the moment because one of them was released. And one of them is Councillor Floric. Treason, sedition, incitement of discontent, status detained awaiting execution. So this is a pretty serious situation. We need to help her. We could just sneak in, but I think we've got a very rizzy crew back here. As long as Will doesn't start ranting. I don't know what Gale's doing back there. I think me and Astarion have got this.
The guard is fast asleep. Bathed in a tendy. Eat all the onions.
Okay. Listen closely to the guards babbling. We might have something we can use against her, right? If we delve into her subconscious. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a bit of guidance. I think we've probably got this. You guys give me guidance as well, right? We've got advantage. Yeah, look at that. It's fine. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so burpy today.
Old man Otto. Back here again. Cell stinks like an old cabbage. 3 bowls of the stew.
That's not massively helpful, but excuse me.
What now? Goodness, how embarrassing. I had a heavy lunch. Welcome to Worms Rock Prison, the 5th nail, wee jail. What's your business?
I haven't heard that one before. The 5th snail and wee jail. So we can say, I'm here to see old man Otto, he's my father. Duke Ravengard has sent me to interrogate Floric. Prison inspection, open the door and pray I don't find more sleeping guards. We can do this without a roll, but I actually like Duke Ravengard has sent me to interrogate Floric. Because that gives us a reason to talk to Floric specifically. So yes, sorry, it's perfectly okay. Duke Ravengard has sent me to interrogate Floric. She's all nicey. Maybe I should have gone for the Otto option. It makes more sense. She's too nice. I think we should have gone for something like, oh, Gortash said we could have a tour of the prison. We do love to see how the Flaming Fist run the operations, you know, something more like that. But let's see what this does. I'm using the Bardic Inspiration. You guys give me guidance. I don't have advantage on the roll. Oh no! I should have got Shadowheart to give me the book. We've done it, it's fine. that was a close one.
Last cell on the left. And give that traitor a what for. She'll know what for. Hang on, I'll let you through.
Oh, indeed. Yes, I'm going to give her a very, very stern talking to. Maybe something like... What does she say? Don't feed the prisoners, makes them something. Maybe a light spanking. Okay. Just... It's very bright in here. I'm a drow. I'm just going to turn down the lights a little bit as I go through. Okay. So this person's patrolling.
On your way. May Lord Gortash provide.
Under his eye. Okay, so yeah, let me just you're wasting fuel. The prisoners don't need this much light. Leave them in the darkness to do their sulking or something, I guess. Do you not know there's a fuel shortage? You should employ some drow down here as guards. They don't need this much light. It's very wasteful. I'm going to leave that one up. Let's go and see what these people are doing. So they're just kind of sat around. It's a good thing they're not patrolling, I'm going to say.
My old bracers went missing. The ones Laurel sold me.
There's a thieving rat in the back. You left them at Shiraz's caress after a slug of hoots.
Might be right. One sip, and the world goes all fuzzy. Like I'm dreaming, but awake.
That's some goddamn poetry right there. The audio was broke on that, but hopefully you could read the descriptions. So the Flaming Fist like hanging out at Shiraz's caress, hey? So last door on the left is Floric's cell, they said. So let's have a quick peek and see if there's anything else going on down here. In my first playthrough, I ended up in here arrested very quickly. I had a bit of trouble getting out and I had to kind of like reload my save. There's an unusual skull in there. If you get caught down here, worth inspecting the unusual skull. This is just where your stuff goes if you get arrested. Nothing in there, I guess. Okay. This must be Old Man Otto. So, just if we had used that excuse that he's my dad, I'd come over here talking to him first, but...
What do you want?
Oh, they're right. It does smell a bit cabbagey over here. To help you escape, if I can.
I don't need to escape. I've got food, water, privacy, and I mean to keep it that way.
Okay. And I can totally see that as well. Like, this guy's kind of like keeps getting himself arrested every time he gets released because he's like, listen, I've got a bed, I'm getting fed, like, I'm safe. Like, what? Honestly, if people are invading, where better to be than, like, just underground behind an army of flaming fists? Like, this guy is smart, I'm gonna say. Yeah, so nothing in there, but over here is where Floric is. I think I'm just going to do a quick safety save. I'm going to save scum. Okay, Operation Rescue Floric commences. Hi, bestie.
You're too late. It's over.
By Avernus. Floric.
I love, like, seeing Will's relationships with people, you know, and like his care for the people that he used to know from his previous life before he was kind of expelled from Baldur's Gate. Counselor, what happened to you?
The Steel Watch happened. I came seeking allies to our cause. Watchers spotted me, dragged me to Older Ravengard's husk, empty as a stare. Your father's a tadpole's puppet, Will. Nothing more. He's spoken accusations. Apostasy, conspiracy, sedition. I'll be executed in 5 dawns.
The hell's with that? Nothing is over. Not while I still draw breath.
We're not saying we're going to beat some sense into her. We're going to wait for that guard to go past and we're going to say, listen, I'm breaking you out. Baldur's Gate needs you. Ravengard needs you. Do we ship Councillor Floric and Ravengard like I do? I feel like we've got this. It's a DC of 10. She says, give me guidance. Oh, 6. Yeah, we've got it. It's a +4 there. Perfect.
When the people need a miracle, you cannot wait for the gods to answer.
Father's words.
Indeed. To think I'd almost forgotten. No more sulking. I know what to do. And I can only do it with the help of the blade.
How pleased
Unlock my cell. Escort me out of Worm's Rock. I'll seek out my connections. When the city streets shatter, you'll want their blades.
Okay, there she is. She's back. She had a moment of self-pity. And you can understand, like, how much despair she would be feeling to, like, to see that Ravengard's no longer himself and he's being used. And, like, you know, you can understand that moment of kind of, like, it's all gone horribly wrong. And self-pity. But to see her back and, like, giving us orders, you know, immediately, it's like, it's hard to keep a good dog down, you know? Sorry to call her a dog, like, it's a phrase. And then we go, I won't help you. Peace out. Agreed. I'll find a way to unlock your cell.
Hurry.
I've got this. I've got a plan. So we're going to wait for this guy to come and go. Oh, yes, this prisoner. Like, honestly, it's what she deserved. Imagine! Traitor to the realm. Alright, he's gone. I'm going to go into turn-based mode. I'm going to get a Astarion for his lock-picking skills. We're going to have him crouch and get over here and lockpick.
Let's go.
Okay, he should have this. I'll give him guidance anyway. Guys, give Astarion guidance. Guidance your screen. He should be good. Yeah, look at that. Easy. 35. He got a whole D20 above what he actually needed there. Okay, now that has been unlocked. We can get him to stand up again. Yeah, he's frozen. He's not moving. I'm gonna get Gale. Actually, let me have Cordia talk to her again. Exit turn-based mode.
Good. The cell's open. One step closer.
99 problems and my bitch ain't one. Sorry, one step closer. Follow me. Follow me. I'll lead you to safety.
Lead the way.
Okay, back into turn-based mode. Where's that guy? He is nowhere to be seen. Perfect. So I'm going to get Gale to go ahead and do greater invisibility on Floric. Can't reach destination. Oh, okay. Right, hang on. Cordia, open the door.
Road ahead.
Gale.
Elminster's not around, so it might as well.
Greater invis. What do you mean can't reach destination? Stop being a pleb. So I've been around the patriarch for too long. I'm starting to call people plebs. Greater invis. Okay. And now we go. So I'm going to go out of turn-based mode. And we are going to skedaddle as fast as we can to my breakout point. So I know where I'm going. I don't know. I've got psychic drow intuition about where to go. We did see that there's another door. I don't think we can lead her straight out. If we led her straight out, we would be leading her back up to Worms Rock proper. And there's too many people, there's too many witnesses. So we're going to take her out a back doorway, right? We're going to sneak her out. So, let's go.
Very well.
Come on, Floric, run. So instead of going out this way, there's no exit there. But we're going to go over here to this door. Look at that. The other guy's gone, the guard's gone off in that other direction. Astarion, quickly, lockpick this.
Simple.
I'm back in turn-based mode just to keep that guard away. Go. Oh, I rolled a 1. This is because I didn't ask you lot for guidance. 23, we did do it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, back to Cordia.
Can't give up now.
Exit turn-based mode. Go, 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 go. Because they will tell us off if they see us going through this door. So we need to watch out for that guard coming back. Let's get through here. Get into the room. Shut the door. Okay, we're good. I think we're good.
Need to find a
I
way
might
forward.
come back and root through some of these things. Oh, I thought I talked to Astarion.
Anything of use?
I forgot to get some people's reactions. So if there's any extra reactions to like that I missed, I'll put them I'll insert them throughout the oh. Who's talking? I'll insert them throughout. Any more interesting looking boxes that we can raid? I'll take it. Okay, so the place of interest is this wall here. Can you see it says sturdy wall? And if I examine it, it's got force vulnerability. So I know a man who can do force damage, and it is the hero we need, Will, with his Eldritch Blast. Get this wall, mate. Amazing. And we're going to keep going with Floric out of here. So again, this is my perfect playthrough. I've played the game quite a few times. This is the easiest way I find to do this rescue. So yeah, Astarion, Will and Gale with greater invis, Eldritch Blast and sneaky lockpicking skills. And we're out. We're free.
This is far enough. The way should be clear. I can't thank you enough for getting me out of that damned prison. And for giving me courage when I'd all but run out.
It's the least we could do. Your faith in this city should inspire us all.
Yeah, you can try and fight the guards. I have tried to fight the guards a number of times down there. We may go back there for a reason later. But a lot of the Flaming Fist, a lot of the guards, they're just kind of like the normal civilians who have signed up. It's kind of like civilians joining the police force, kind of. You know, you get some bad ones, you get some people who are doing it because they're on a power kick or, you know, for not the right reasons. But for the most part, these people are like, I want to do good. I want to protect the local citizens. I want to protect, you know, my people. I want to, you know, be of service. People join for really, really good reasons. So the Flaming Fist are just normal people. They don't realize what exactly is happening, and they don't know that they're on the bad side. They believe the propaganda, basically. So I don't have any grudge specifically against the Flaming Fist. They're just, you know, normal people who are being utilized by the tyrant. I'm glad to see you free. You've proven a vital ally. She hasn't really, but...
When the flames roared loudest, you pulled me to safety. Most would have let me burn. I won't forget it. I will travel to the upper city. Find what allies I can. You won't fight the coming battle alone. As long as the city stands, I will stand with it. This is my promise.
I don't know why specifically Astarion approved that, because it doesn't seem like something he'd particularly approve of. Everybody else, like, it would make sense. Gale and Will, it would make sense that we got approval there. Astarion is kind of like, really? I think he's approving that we've got an ally when fighting kind of the Elder Brain. So if we actually look at confront the Elder Brain now, is it there? Gather your allies here. Gather your allies. So we can see now we've got Volo, the Koatoa, Halcyon, Arabella, and Floric is in... I'll read it. Floric is immensely grateful that we freed her and helped her with the threat at Moonrise. We are sure to have her and the Flaming Fist by our side when we need it most. So, yeah, like, she's going to be there in, like, the final boss battle fight, basically, which is pretty cool. How are we all doing?
I don't relish the idea of Mizora visiting our camp, let alone offering us anything resembling a deal. When the devils start approaching you, you know you're in deep.
There's a little bit of screen tearing there. Again, I've updated my graphics card and it reset all my graphics settings, so I'm still in the process of kind of getting that right. So I'm sorry if that's bothering anyone. When the devils start approaching you, you know you're in deep. Yeah, you were the one approaching Raphael to figure out what's going on with your back, mate. So, anything else?
Ah, my favorite traveling companion.
Right. Maybe you and I, Astarion, can stop off at the Sharessa's Caress before the day is done. How would you like that? I'll put in another video about that. I feel like it's going to have to not be monetized because of the discussion that I'm going to have. But yeah, if you want to see Cordia and Astarion possibly hanging out at Sharessa's Caress, I'll pop a video of that up at some point. Surprise Astarion shenanigans.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme.
Oh, Miss
By all
Zora.
the hounds of the hells, what is she planning?
So we've already had this with Dirge, actually. Mizura's up to nothing good, that's for certain.
Certainly not. But she's as inevitable as Toril's path around the sun. We'll have answers soon enough. Mizora's gone to camp. We should speak with her.
We should.
Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to.
So sorry, we've got a bit of repetition there. Anything else?
I'm here for you, always.
I'm here for you too, Will. Gale?
Whatever business Will has with Mizora, it will cost him dearly. Or worse still, it will cost us. I hope we can afford it.
He's right there, Gale. Right there. You could have told me this later. Okay, I thought they'd have more to say about Floric. If I can get any extra companion reactions, because I feel like I did it not in the right order today, I will kind of insert them throughout the video where appropriate. So, okay, let's head back to camp. Oh, actually, there's a little bit of scavenging we can do while we're down here. And just to kind of orientate you of where we are, we kind of, I wish I had my camera mod in, but we're kind of down the side of Worm's Rock. So, like, up here is, oh, if I can kind of show you, up here is like the entrance point where we came in, where we talked to the guards. So one thing you can do is kind of come down here and like jump down to this section. So yeah, we're just kind of down the side pretty much. We can jump up here. Sorry, the camera angles are really bad. Let me try and recenter on Cordia there. No, it's not doing much good. Okay, so we can go over here, climb up here. A little bit of autumn crocus, we'll take it. And this area here, which isn't really doing as much good, I don't think. This looks like a secret doorway, having said that. Interesting. Maybe we'll find out more about that later, possibly. We can't really go that way, so this isn't like a way to get around the guards to get into Baldur's Gate. Maybe you guys can figure that out. Mostly I think it's just an escape route. Or a way to get into the prison as well. So if you don't want to go past that guard, if you get stuck at that kind of front desk where the guard was sleeping, and you want to go in like a more sneaky way, you can come in the back way and get in that way as well. Like blast the wall from the other side if you wanted to. Okay, over here we've got a rope ladder, which is taking us down to this little beach area. Again, just to kind of do all the things before we head back to camp.
Let's move.
Ew, what happened here? Pirates? Oh, perception failed. That's not good. Oh.
A trap.
There we
So
go.
much for a warm welcome.
Some sort of trap. Didn't work out well for whoever that person is.
Keep a blade
Toarie, could you possibly disarm the trap? Okay, easy peasy. And also maybe lockpick it as well. That would be helpful.
Easy.
Easy? It literally is easy for him. He doubled what he needed there. Okay.
At least things have stayed interesting.
So we've got oil of diminution, elixir of cloud giant strength, elixir of viciousness, some treasure, and just so you don't forget. I'm pretty sure that between the guards, the arrows, and the jugged thunderbolt, you'll never survive to read this note. But just in case, I want to make sure you know what you did to deserve all this. Remember that shiv you stuck in my leg when you turned me in? That's why. Enjoy your escape while you can, arswipe. I'll be coming to haunt you in your sleep. Yeah, it looks like they got close but didn't quite make it, unfortunately, whoever that was.
Time to press
Alright, I
ahead.
think it's time to head back to camp. There is a little bit more to do around here, but I think we'll do it another day. It's getting quite a long video now, so I'm going to try and wrap up a little bit. Okay. So then, who do we want to speak to? I just want to get a few more reactions. Do you
Always a
hear her?
pleasure.
I had no wish to lose Will, but my, it would have been nice to flush her into the colony's flesh pit.
So she's talking about Mizora there. Anything else, Karlak?
Mizora. I'd take anything she says with a grain of salt. But with her claws as deep in our business as they are, I guess we can't ignore her completely.
You've been very understanding today, Karlak. I like Karlak's support for Will. We spoke to Astarion. Halcyon?
Mizora schemes with Will's very freedom. He deserves to know what she is up to.
I agree. We've not had much of Lae'zel this episode, so let's go and chat with Lae'zel.
A devil will come for her due. Mizora is no different. Whatever it is she comes to offer, whatever choice Will makes, someone will suffer. Count on it.
Right. Well, glad to see you've been cheerful today in camp. Will, we've spoken to. Who else do we have? Just Minthara, I think, might have a little bit. Oh, Shadowheart as well.
What fun I would have if I could play with Will, as Mizora does.
Yeah, well, you kind of do. I've heard some of the comments you make to him, Minthara. Do you have designs on Will, Minthara? Okay. Good to know. What are you flapping your skirt about over here for, Shadowheart?
Will ought to know what happened with Mizora. Whatever she has in store for him can't be good.
Right. Okay. All good. Time to go to sleep for the night then, I think. Do I want Cordia or Dirge to do this scene though? That is the question. I think Cordia, you know, she's romancing Will, so it makes sense for her to do this. Okay. Here she is, Queen of the Hells herself.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice. Adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Where do they get their clothes? I am a bit upset that a lot of the fancy clothes in Baldur's Gate, they're kind of like trousers and things. Like a lot of the dresses either will be armor that you get quite late in Act 3, so you don't really get much wear out of them. I wish that we had dresses like that as like the fancy clothes for the female players. I've got mods to unlock them, but it would have just been, it would be nice if Baldur's Gate, if anyone on the team is watching me right now, if small chance but possible, like if you do any more modding, could we just get a few more kind of like girly dresses as camp clothes? Because I would love like those dresses that they're wearing as camp clothes. And like the dress Cuddy is wearing as well, I love that, which is a mod. Okay, like please introduce me to your friends, but since we got the role, I think we'll say, interesting, I don't recall sending out invitations to the Sisters of Justice.
You do not call upon the sisters. They come when the hells demand witness.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Doing it.
Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos.
We speak the infernal contract?
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
Okay, well, you already need to break it. We freed you from the colony. Well then break it already. Will doesn't need to wait for 6 months.
No contract is ended without sacrifice. A cost must be paid.
Girlie, we freed you.
Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you arsehole!
Choose.
I love how much they just colour an arsehole. What about option 3? You piss off and we wait the 6 months and you free him from the contract, and in the meantime we'll go looking for Will's dad. What about that? So that's not an option right now. What happens to Will's powers if he breaks the pact? Save your father, Will. The city need him to... hang on, let's ask question 1. Excuse me, what will happen to Will's powers if he breaks the pact?
Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
Okay, so Will gets to keep his powers because he's seeking vengeance against the Absolute for what was done to his patron. Right, got it. So the choice is, Mizora keeps Will's soul, but we have a chance of saving Will's dad with Mizora's help, or we break the pact and Will's dad dies. I think Will's dad would want Will to not be a warlock, right? I think Will's dad would be like, forget about me, son. You have a future. I don't want you to be in the grip of these devils any longer. You know, he's paid his service. He's done his due. And we don't want to be Mizora's lackey anymore. So I'm more inclined to break the pact. I think he would... It's funny, I'm just thinking about like other choices that come up in the future as well. If you know, you know. If you know, don't comment down below because not everybody knows. So like no spoilers. But again, I've played this quite a few times and I know the best outcome. So I know what choice I'm going to make because it's my perfect playthrough. So we have save your father, Will. The city will need him to help rebuild. Do the right thing. Give your soul so your father can live. Again, if we can save Duke Ravengard and get him untadpoled, there is hope there. Like, we connected with him. He is still there somewhere. You know, he is a powerful figure in Baldur's Gate, and it would be good to have him afterwards. And when we connected to that hope, he saw himself ruling over a city of peace. So he would be a great leader. There is a reason to keep him alive. Or we can say, break the pact, Will. You deserve your freedom. Let your father die. When the city's free, you can take his place. We're not looking to usurp his father. I think the best option for Cordia to say is option 3, because again, as a cleric of Alistairi, she is all about giving people freedom and getting people away from tyrannical people who would control them. So 3 is very on brand for Cordia. Yeah, but guys, again, I know what we're doing here. Break the pact, Will. You deserve your freedom.
You damned wretch. Father. Do it. Break the pact.
I don't think it's the choice Will would make himself, though.
Fiat ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Mizora is so funny. I kind of love her. So she is literally just going to hang around camp now. And like, I think we can tell her to leave, but I've never chose that option. I've always like been like, yeah, you can hang around camp. You're pretty. I like you. You can stay. There's like this kind of almost like mean girl desperateness that she has where, you know, despite being quite nasty to Will and to all of us and quite disrespectful and like, you know, not deserving of our friendship, it does feel like she needs a little bit of company. Like, I don't know, she feels like she's kind of a little bit like, you know, like, I hate it here, this party's stupid, give me another drink. You know, that kind of attitude. Like, she doesn't really want to leave. Yeah, I like her. She can be our Gretchen, you know. So, like, okay, I know what we're doing here. What is that number 3 there? What's that? Why have I never looked at that before? Why do I have a number 3? Oh, 3 additional hit points. I've got it. Never noticed that before in my life. What am I trying to say here? We can save Will's dad. Trust me, okay? This is my perfect playthrough, and I know all the loopholes of this game. As well as Mizora knows the loopholes in a contract, I know the loopholes in this game. We're going to save Will's dad. It's going to be a challenge. It's hard, but we're going to do it. And Will is now free of his contract, so yay! I'm going to run around and do the talks with everybody. I'll give you a minute, Carla. You don't get up for me. Any reactions?
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well, but I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake.
Exactly.
I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark.
Okay. He sacrificed his father. Do you really believe, on our advice? I hope we find another way to free him from his pact. You sound like you speak from experience.
No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
Like I said before, I'm playing the original Baldur's Gate and I've got Jaheira on my team. Like, the choice of voice actor is great for her. I don't think... I'm trying to think of the lady's name who voices Jaheira. I'll try and remember to put it up on the screen. She's fabulous. I don't think she originally voiced Jaheira. I'll try and fact check that. But the voice of Jaheira in the first game resembles Jaheira's voice in the third game, and not just the sound of her voice, but like the syntax, the way she speaks, her choice of language and the choice of words. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 and the scriptwriters did such a good job of staying true to the original source material. Like, Elminster sounds the same, like Minsk sounds the same, like the casting of the actors for Baldur's Gate 3, like, so faithful to the original characters. I love it so much. Like, more respect for them from playing Baldur's Gate, which Larian didn't make the original Baldur's Gate games, I don't think. They just did Baldur's Gate 3. So the fact that they researched and they were so considerate of their choices, like, honestly, like, such... They're just brilliant. They're just great. Like, near close to perfect game. We'll ask about... Do we want to ask about Minsk? We'll ask about Minsk when we're closer to seeing Minsk, I think. It's not about Minsk today. Carla, get up. I want to speak to you.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago.
He didn't.
There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Wait, what did I suggest? Did I click the wrong one? He didn't. Wait, why do I have that? He didn't give up his soul to Zariel. What? Wait, why have I got that? Aid the Underduke. Rescue Duke. Will broke his pact with Mizora. Duke Ravengard is no longer our concern. Is that right? I think you'll find otherwise, to be honest. I don't know why we got the wrong dialogue there for Karlak.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
Right. That's one way of looking at it.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
Very on brand for Astarion. Like, he's like, yeah, I'd do the same. Oh, Will wants to speak, but I'm going to circle around to him and speak to him last. And then we're going to long rest, and I'm going to call it for today, because it has been a particularly long video.
The devil Mizora has made herself quite at home, hasn't she? Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can.
I mean, no promises, Lae'zel. I kind of like her. I don't know. I don't know what it is with me and devils. Minthara!
Patricide is often the first step toward greatness. But I hope Will does not regret sacrificing his infernal power.
I know, he still has those. Yes, he's still a warlock. He still has all his powers. Okay, I don't know why we can keep asking this. All good. She's like, yeah, this is normal. Patricide, we do it all the time in Menzoberranzan.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
I like that he's thought about it though. He's like, oh, I do like getting the power. I do like doing a bit of magic. Oh, Gale, you're a hazard to yourself. Hello, sexy. How are you doing?
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the pact is worth it to him.
Hi, Mizora.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into.
Oh, he's here. Will is not a child. You need to start treating him with respect, Mizora.
I beg your forgiveness for such undue impertinence. From now on, I promise him the same measure of respect he's shown his father. Oh, I almost forgot. Will sold his father's life for his freedom. My mistake.
She really, like, digs in those needles, doesn't she? Oh, Karlach. We've got quite a few things we can say. You left Karlach alone, didn't you? You left Karlach alone. Didn't you want her dead? What changed?
Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind?
Right.
My mistress can be so capricious.
Tell me more about that, Mizora. Trouble in paradise, is there? Helladice? Well, I don't get it. If Will isn't your warlock, why stick around and give him power? I mean, she explained it, but let's see what she has to say.
The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched.
So it's personal, okay. And what can you tell me about the Hells?
The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first Hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it. The delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy.
No, thank you. I come from Menzoberranzan and the Abyss, so I've had my fill of stinky places. Thank you very much. What do I want to say next? You never told me how the Absolutists captured you.
Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all.
Okay, we can say we want her out of here. I'm not saying that because I like her hanging around. If you're going to be staying, I need something in return.
Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Nice! So she's one of our allies for fighting the big bad. Sweet! Let's have a quick look at that. Where are we? Gather your where am I? Gather your allies. Oh, it doesn't say it there though. Okay. I don't know if I believe her. Alright, Will. I probably should have talked to Will before Mizora because I don't know if this is going to make sense now, but let's go ahead and do it anyway.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet.
This is a very Minthara answer. You are your own man now, Will. I said that weird. You are your own man now, Will. It's better this way.
I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something.
Your father's not dead yet, Will. Maybe there's a way to save him.
I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the sticks down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise.
There's always a... Where there's a will, there's a way, Will. Well, what's our next step then?
We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds. And the city. From the brain.
Well, that does sound like a solid plan. Okay. I don't know if we want to talk about something else.
Go on then.
Like, I don't want to ask him for a kiss right now. Like, it wouldn't make sense. But let's use the hug mod, because it feels like a good time for a hug. Carla, who we got? Halcyon, Shadowheart, Astarion, Gale. Let's do the Astarion hug on him. No biting. Just a little nibble. There we go. Feels better now. Okay, there we go. It was a hug moment, I think. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed, but I am scared because I get, like, jump scared by cutscenes all the time. Auto-select! Let's do it! I think we're okay. I think this is the normal long rest scene. All good? Why did I hear an initiative roll? What happened? Why are my feet red? Why? Why am I stood in trailing vines? What's happening? Okay, I think we're all good. That is where I'm going to leave it for today. Like I say, if I do manage to get any other companion reactions, I'll just kind of like dot them in the video as and when they make sense. But yeah, that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's going to be a while before we find out any more about Will's dad, I think. But in the next video, we are going to just finish exploring a little bit of Worm's Rock. I think we can go into the Flaming Fist Barracks, and then we're going to go into Baldur's Gate proper. Now, this is where it gets really overwhelming. If you've ever tried to do Act 3, everything gets thrown at you all at once pretty much as soon as you arrive in Baldur's Gate. So I do have systems, I do have plans of how we're going to navigate that space. I think currently my probable strategy is probably heading towards the Elf Song Tavern and getting settled in and getting kind of like a base. So that's probably what we're going to be doing in the next video, and kind of we'll take it from there. So come and join me to see my strategy for how I like to play through Act 3. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're still enjoying this playthrough. Obviously, I have so much love for this game, and yeah, I'm so glad that you guys could like join me and that you're enjoying these videos as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again soon. Go and check out Expedition 33 if you haven't already, because that's my new playthrough. I'm doing it on camera in the same style as I do these videos, and it's kind of, it's the game that I needed to follow Baldur's Gate. It's scratching a good itch for me. It's not the same as Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is much more in depth, but the story and the style, I'm really like welcoming this new game into my rotation. So yeah, watch out for that. Also watch out for more Sims content coming up. They've been teasing kind of what might be coming next on their social medias. So I need to say ad at this point. Ad. I'm associated with EA. Yeah, if you like Sims content, kind of watch my channel for that. I'm probably going to be spamming you again soon, knowing me. So yeah, I will see you again soon. Do take care of your faces. Have a good week. Bye.
I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me
Is this part of the show? Praise the absolute.